All right, welcome everybody. Another episode, number 49. I think I messed up the. It's supposed to be episode 49. I don't think I can edit it right now.
I see you got 48. Yeah.
See what happens. I'm going to try to do it right now. Save changes.
There you go. It just changed.
Nice. I thought it would cancel and ruin everything.
Right.
And I'd have to. But miracles happen every day. Welcome everybody, Cardboard and Cold Ones, episode number 49. Our guest tonight is Brad of Brad's Vintage Cards. He will be joining us shortly to share his collection, his story, and join us for a beverage. Speaking of beverages, there
it is.
News, not old news. This live stream is not sponsored by Union Craft Brewery, and I will continue to share that I love Zeddy's Lager, and my loyalty and my dedication will remain strong despite the ghosting and the gaslighting that I continue to get from this brewery. Like I said, all I'm asking is for a 24-pack per month sent to my apartment. I am of the age, I promise you. And you guys will be happily a sponsor of the Cardboard and Cold Ones movement.
I need to find some Zadie's. I need to try it, and I'll pump it. We're also getting ghosted by Geddy Lee at this moment in time. But
unfortunately, there is some somber news that we must share.
Yes.
As Geddy Lee has jumped right to Instagram and posted about Kiss. Sadly, Space Ace has passed away.
Yes.
Sad, but you saw the picture I posted earlier. I met him in 2000 and right around 2007, when the first iPhone came out. I was working at Apple, and he walks in at 7 a.m.
The best part is when you showed that picture, you're like, nobody's gonna guess who this is, and I'm like, that's Ace Frehley. I knew it.
Yeah. I mean, people could figure it out, I think.
Right.
Although initially I couldn't figure it out. I thought it was, I was like, who's this guy walking in
fried out dude
7 o'clock in the morning? Where's your makeup?
But for those who don't know, I am a music guy. I love my music. Rush's first tour in the United States was opening for Kiss.
I know. Really?
Yeah, and they formed a huge. That's why Geddy probably. I didn't see Geddy's posts, but Kiss treated them very well, and they were all very tight and close. And Rush being the musical geniuses that they are, and Kiss being the simplistic music, Rush always defended Kiss because Kiss took care of them, when they were coming up.
So for that being said, I do not expect Geddy Lee to make an appearance in the chat tonight,
right.
as I was hoping he would, but I don't foresee that happening.
Neither do I.
But I did post, and he hasn't even looked at the story, nor has he sent me any messages. I even went to the hidden requests to see if somehow it snuck back there, but no,
nothing. I do have a friend who's a roadie. Our guy I grew up with is a roadie. I should try and get a hold of him and go, hey, you doing anything with Rush? Get a hold of Geddy for me.
we need to get Geddy Lee on here, man. It's picture perfect, he has an incredible collection, and he wrote a book on it.
Yep.
And he just released the book. So, I mean, listen, I know we're not Good Morning America, but or any of those shows, but we're a blue collar show.
That's right. And I would probably tell you in my life, I don't get too starstruck by anybody. There'd be maybe two, maybe three people in the world that would get me starstruck. One of them would be Michael Jordan, and probably Geddy would be one of them. I would be in awe because that's my band. So
Michael Jordan would try to find some way to compete on this. If he were to join us,
I'd play a little poker with him. I just can't keep up with his bankroll. That's the only problem.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the separating factor.
Exactly.
All right. it's time for the roll call for the night. We got Andy leading us off. Good evening. Great to see you all. Jacob Dahl is here. Hello, collectors. Steve with the PH is here. Joe from Redneck Collectors. The human encyclopedia of the hobby, Scott, is here. Dave Peacemaker Cards is here. Mike from Jayhawker, good evening. Let's raise our beverages and toast those wonderful vintage players of days gone by who continue to bring us all together. Salute.
Very impressive.
You're suggesting a new.
I was just going to say.
I haven't gotten there yet. We're going to get there. Sven is here. Trevor from Blue Collar Cards. What's up? Melissa Gouger. I don't want to pronounce the last name wrong. I don't know if it's Gouger. I apologize. Most people can't pronounce mine, so it's all good. Matt, the card stories here. Yes, Ray from Philly. What is up? Rest in peace, Ace Frehley.
Ray, you were the first one to tell me. I replied on your Facebook page. That was the first I heard of it.
eBay's very excited. No surprise there. Hello, eBay. No beard, Sammy. I'm not sure what that means. I have a beard.
So. No beard in November, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know, but if that's the case, no, the beard is staying.
Oh, or is he talking about the picture with Ace?
Oh, yeah, there was a goatee in that one.
Yeah,
like a horrible goatee. Sammy Jason ate the beer. The beer is always cold. It better
very
be
much
cold.
so. Very much so.
It can't be the beer that Jason gave me. On me.
This is what it was. It was just warm as warm could be.
I was like, with all due respect, I can't do this.
We're not in Europe.
No. Mitchell's here. What's up, Mitchell? Visitor was a Jizz and Dodgers take the lead. I stopped watching.
Did you really?
Yeah, I don't really care. You know, if the Mets are not really in it, then I mean, I'll look at the box scores the next day, but I just don't really care at this point.
I enjoy it. I'm rooting for the Mariners.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the Dodgers, I don't know. I know there's some Dodger fans here, but I'm kind of sick of seeing them win.
Right. They're the Yankees of the West Coast.
Yeah.
So, buy a team.
Yeah. Mike Good, even if you choose not to come on, he still has made a choice.
A little Rush lyric right there. I will choose free will, Mike Good.
And nope, yes, I got it now, Ray. Thank you. And Mr. Lonely Basement Baseball Cards is here. So before we bring Brad on, as Mike was suggesting a new cold open, that's not going to be the case. Welcome to Cardboard and Cold Ones, where we raise our beer and cheers to the legends we admire on the cardboard we collect.
100.
Speaking of cards that we collect, let's bring this collector on. None other than Brad from Brad's Vintage Collection. What's up?
Not much. Hi, Sammy. Hi, Jason. Thanks for having me on. And first, we do need to make a toast to Ace.
Yes, we do. 100%, my friend. Very
Ace,
good.
thanks for all the enjoyment.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I have a funny story about Ace Frehley. From when that picture was taken. So, yeah, like I mentioned, I didn't know who he was at first. And then it caught on little by little. But it wasn't until like the very end when I was absolutely sure. Because I was trying to... this is 2007, so we had Apple had this online storage option you can pay for, but it was like 1 gigabyte of storage. It wasn't a lot, but at that time it was. And so I was like, oh yeah, because I was playing in bands at that time, so I was like, oh yeah, I use it to put my music on this storage device. He's like, oh, you're in a band? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I'm in a band too. It's called Kiss. So then we took the picture together, and I helped him bring his computer to his car. And I swear to God, he's like, what instrument do you play? I'm like, oh, I do like a lot of synthesizer stuff and keyboards. And so he took out this, in his car it wasn't like not like a Lexus. It was probably like a hatchback. And he takes out this Papa John's, like one of those little promotional things that they send you in the mail. And he wrote, and he's like, what's your number? Maybe you can come by the studio one day. As I gave him the number, and yeah, I never called, but I just
that'd have been cool if he did.
Yeah.
So ghosted by Geddy Lee and Ace Frehley.
right. It's happening.
Yeah, I tend to ward off the rock stars.
So I'm excited to have Brad on. Brad is local to me, so this will be fun. I do have to ask, Brad, do you have intentions of going to the Sports Spectacular in November?
I don't. I'm actually laid off at the moment, so I'm trying to to not spend until I get something lined up. So if I do find something between now and then, I'll probably go. But otherwise, I'm trying to save my funds for Strongsville, and so it's been weird. I started a channel and haven't had a mail day since my national, but I'm trying to use restraint. But making videos and talking about my cards is so much fun and gives me a new way to look at them. So I think it's really helped me get through the time of not really acquiring anything. So.
And I would tell you your collection is phenomenal enough where you don't need, I tell people you don't need to purchase every day or every week in order to have a channel.
Right.
Just enjoy what you have and talk about what you have. And it doesn't even have to be a big collection. I mean, there's so many avenues to go when you're creating content. You get a little creative, and I'm kind of in a rut right now, actually. I haven't really come up with any, you run out of ideas after a while. You got to kind of dig deep and figure out what you're going to do next.
So being so new, I'm going to show some things that I pretty much haven't shown any of them on the channel. And I kind of picked cards that were a little less mainstream to keep Sammy interested. I've been collecting continually since I've been 6, and really got into it in 1982 when I went to the library and saw a price guide. And then since then, I've been reading the box scores every day and looking who the stars are, and been kind of collecting continuously. But my bread and butter is the Bowman era, Topps 50s, 60s. My goal is to get all the Hall of Famers from the Bowman 50s and 60s Topps. I'm past 60% on all 3 of them in the number of cards, but nowhere near 60% on the dollars. So a lot of the real expensive cards I need. So it appears I'm closer than I am, but it's fun going for those. But today I've got kind of, outside the first couple cards, I've got mostly some of my side projects that I'm going to show you some of. And so the first card I had to start with Seaver for Sammy. So here's my Seaver rookie.
Wow.
Really proud of this one.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
8.5. That's
and then I had to show kind of one of the off the wall Seavers, and there'll be one more I show later, but here's the 73 O-Pee-Chee. So I collect a lot of O-Pee-Chee cards, and I'm just going to kind of start with recent ones. And this one I actually don't have the Topps, because as a kid, all the White Sox fans would give me any card for this card because it's just such a really cool card, and Carlton Fisk was so popular. So I don't actually have a Topps in my collection, but I did pick up the O-Pee-Chee because I thought it was really cool with the French writing on it.
I think doesn't he have a couple cards in that set? I think I have a couple from that same year.
He's got the regular, he's got the All-Star, and then he's got the inaction, so he's got 3 of them.
Yeah.
I don't think he's on any of the leader cards out here.
I'll have to, actually, we just did an episode of Catchers on Mount Rushmore, so I've got it sitting over there. I'll have to dig and see. That's a pretty cool image of him. I don't think I have that one though. That's pretty
fun. that because of the image, I could get like 3 cards of anybody from 82 for that. So I could get like a Schmidt and a Carter and somebody else for that Fisk card. So I don't have any.
Right.
Sticking with the O-Pee-Chee theme, I've got the 2 rookies from 81. So the rookie Hall of Famers with Baines and with Raines. This isn't the rare whiteback version or grayback version. I think it's the whiteback's a rare one. This is just the regular one. But I thought it was, again, cool. I like the French writing on it.
Right.
And then in 1977, there's a couple cards that I think were really cool. The Burger King Reggie Jackson, because it's really the first photo of him on the Yankees, because that regular card's an airbrushed card from an Orioles photo. So this is kind of a really cool card that's not that expensive that people can pick up, and it's something that's kind of not something everybody has. I don't know if either you have this card or have seen this card before.
I do not have it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have it, but I've seen it before, and I know probably Keith from Lonely Basement here probably is big on the Burger King stuff.
Yeah. And then 77 has 3 Hall of Famers with different photos. I only have 2 of the 3, but it's Carter and Perez. So the O-Pee-Chee's this one, and the Topps is this one, and they have different photos in 77 for Gary Carter.
No idea.
So I think that's kind of cool. And they did the same thing for Tony Perez, because they updated him to being on the Expos and then took a new picture. So he's got 2 different shots in 77, which I think is kind of cool.
I will say this, Brad, you showed a card on one of your videos and I wasn't familiar with it and absolutely loved the image of it. And if you're going to show it and I ruin it, I apologize. But I actually saw the image, got a hold of one of my buddies who I think has everything, right? And I'm just like,
Right.
I'm like, you don't have this. Like I texted Aaron at Value Vintage Cards. I'm like, have you ever heard of this card? And he shot me a picture back of the card autographed. And
Oh, wow.
it was the Ryan Sandberg Red Lobster.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not showing that one today,
That's
but
a
yeah,
great card. That's on my, and it's not real cheap, but that's on my list. That's a great.
yeah,
First time I saw it was on your channel.
my grandpa and my dad and my brother and I would go to one Cub game a year, and you couldn't go until you could name the Cubs starting lineup. That was Grandpa's rule. So when the schedule came out, they'd let me pick, and I picked baseball card day, which was the day they gave out that set, not knowing that there would be a Stanberg and Lee Smith rookie in it. And I actually was expecting to get like the Topps team set, so I was actually surprised it was a different set. But that one sat on my dresser all through childhood. As one of my cards I was proudest of, and there was only it was the first 10,000 fans, so there's 10,000 that were made, but I don't know how many survived the game and weren't thrown out and stuff. So
Right.
it's not super rare on the print run, but I don't know how many of them survived. So it's a little tougher than his other rookies.
Yeah, and a phenomenal image. And I actually looked up the Lee Smith as well because when I think you showed both on your video, so I looked them both up. Yeah. But great, those are on my list now. Both of those cards. And everyone influences everybody.
Yep. So the next one that I wanted to show is a couple Bretts. There's the O-Pee-Chee 75 and 76. The color on this one is just amazing. I mean, I just couldn't believe it when I saw it. And so the centering police may not like it as much, but that color just really popped for me. And then this one, it's so hard to find a nice 76 Topps. The print's a little better on the 76 O-Pee-Chee, so that's why I got this one.
And a great image.
And then I know everybody's seen this one, but here's the Schmidt O-Pee-Chee rookie, and I just love the French writing on it. I just thought that was something I always wanted. I think I saw it in Baseball Cards magazine as a kid, and I always said, wow, I'd love to find one of those someday. And pre-internet, it was hard to find even cards that were pretty common, especially if you were looking for ones that presented in a little higher grade, because you basically had your local card shop and your local card shows, and that was it, unless you wanted to mail order and trust somebody without seeing it. So the internet and eBay really changed things and made collecting a lot easier to find stuff than it was back before that. So
for sure. I figured you being a Cub fan, you would have called that the Ron Cey rookie.
It's actually Cey's second card because he's got a 72, but yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
Ron Cey was my grandpa's least favorite player on the Cubs. I don't know why. He got angry that he had an attendance clause, so that when he wasn't having a good season, like buying his ticket helped pay extra money to Ron Cey, so he was always kind of against that. So his friends always gave him a hard time when Cey was batting because he'd get frustrated, which I thought was kind of funny. So next I'll show, I'm going for the 71. I'm not going to show all these. I just picked a few to show, but I'm going for the 71 O-Pee-Chee Hall of Fame set, and this is what I have so far. And actually,
greatest back on a card.
Greatest back ever. And it's stalled out because of the tariffs. So there's a couple on eBay right now that are at a fair price, but they're from Canada. And then to buy it, then they said there's going to be like tariffs and customs you have to pay. I have no idea how much those are. So this collection is pretty much on pause because most of them that I buy come from Canada. But I'll show a few of them. I'll show the two big ones that Sammy will like, the Seaver and the Ryan.
Yeah.
Of course, I got to show the backs too, right, for 71 O-Pee-Chee. So
those are 8s. Both of those are 8s.
Yeah, and here's the backs. Should have taken that out of the eBay case so you could see it better. But the yellow backs are just phenomenal, and that's why I love this set.
When did you buy those?
Seaver I bought probably 5 years ago, and Ryan I probably bought 4 years ago. So they've gone up.
Yeah, that's
have kind of outpaced the Topps, but back then they were actually cheaper than a Topps 8. So I don't know that I would be able to afford some of these today. The two rookies from the O-Pee-Chee set, I got the Blyleven and the Simmons. And then I'll show kind of here's Maze and Yaz, and these are tougher because they're higher number ones, and the higher number O-Pee-Chees. I don't have as many. Most of mine are low number because they're easier to find. But again, the cool backs on these. I really need to
Beautiful.
put the
I have to
the
ask,
eBay ones in a different case.
are you
What's
big on? I have to ask, are you big on the registry? Like, what I mean by that is, are you interested in the registry?
No, I'm on it. I was on it for a checklist. I haven't updated it for a while, but I buy Beckett, or I'll buy BVG, I'll buy SGC, I'll buy
Okay.
PSA, and so I'm going to find the card in any of the holders, and I'm totally agnostic to that. So the registry doesn't interest me. If someone created a registry that had all of the holders, I would definitely get it. It's funny, my oddball stuff, a lot of it's in PSA just because more of it's graded there. But my mainstream collection is probably 35% SGC, maybe 40% SGC. So I'm totally slabnostic. And because of that, the registry just isn't something that matters to me.
Gotcha.
I think you were asking the question because Sammy, most of this stuff is high grade. All
That's
of
what I'm
this stuff
asking.
is,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm 8, 9, 7,
Right.
9.
I can blame my dad for that. So going to the card shows as a kid, it was me, my brother, my dad, and my mom. My parents bought us the Topps book for Christmas, so my brother and I would lay on the floor and make our lists based on the pictures. And at the time, my goal was try to get like one of each Hall of Famer and try to pick the picture I liked the most. And so we each had our want list. So when it was on our want list, we got first crack at it. So my mom would work the want list and write down the table numbers. And then my dad would help us with condition. My dad was a coin collector. So he got used to looking at stuff that with minuscule defects and really looking close at stuff. So when he was kind of teaching us how to evaluate cards, um, his coin collecting eyes kind of influenced my brother and I, and we both ended up being high grade collectors. And I think we can blame my dad for that, just because he had such a great eye. He'd be like, "Oh, this has this and this and this," and it's like, "Oh crap, that doesn't look as good as I thought it did." And over time, we got the same eye he had. So I'm actually going to do some downgrading. I've got some 9s in the 60s, a fair amount of 9s, and to help get other things, I'm looking to get the same card in an 8 that I like, and then selling some of those off so I can buy more stuff, because those have gone up to a price that I don't think they're worth what they're valued at now. And
Correct.
But the hard part is finding the nice 8s in some of them, because I'm pretty picky. So as I find them, then I'm going to downgrade a lot of those cards, and that's going to really help me a lot, because the 9s I probably bought, I don't know, 8, 9 years ago when they were so much cheaper than they are today. And I would never pay what a lot of those cards are going for now, if that makes any sense.
Makes total sense. And actually, the 9s are going through the roof right now because the 10s are such a gap between the 10 and the 9.
Right.
The 9 is becoming the new 10 because the 10s are just astronomically out of line. So
yeah,
now
they're
going to start
crazy.
It's just going to trickle down. Now it's happening with the 9s are going up in prices, and yeah, it's nuts.
I just saw your comment, Orlando. I know you downgraded from a couple 9s and a couple 8s. So yeah, I do have pretty high grades. And I feel very fortunate to have collected as early as I did, and been buying continually since '82. And when I didn't start buying graded, I resisted graded for a little while because I didn't like not being able to touch my cards. But I'd go to a show and I'd be buying everything pretty far off center, and not the quality of cards I used to get. And I just, at some point, I'm just like, if I'm going to try to collect cards that are well centered with sharp corners, I pretty much have to go graded, because it's just too hard to find them in raw. So but I bought a lot of these. They're mostly all old flips, and people are saying that the old flips aren't worth what the new flips are, but I really believe it's the quality of the card that matters, not the generation of the flip. And if you've got a centered card with 4 sharp corners and a bright back, people are going to pay for it, whatever flip it's in.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I think particularly with vintage, most vintage collectors are looking at the card first. The number is secondary, even though even the high grade collectors, the number's important, but they're still looking at the card first. So
Yeah, when I show on my channel, I never talk about what it's graded because I don't really care.
Right.
I've got some 6s that I think are nicer than 8s, and I've got some 8s that are a lot of 8s that are nicer than 9s than some of the 9s I have, and so I buy the card, and starting to get into pre-war. I'm starting to get more comfortable with more flaws than I was comfortable with in the post-war era, where I could afford stuff. At least back in the day, I could.
You'd be surprised what you'll accept when you really go down that pre-war rabbit hole. Like
Right? Yeah, I've only
you know,
probably got about.
I'd never have
15
a card
pre-war
like that, and I
cards
got
so
like 10
far,
of them.
so I'm still learning, and actually, a Blue Jacket and Collector's Dream, Orlando, and Rick Vintage Oddball Card and Mangini have really taught me a lot. And I was always afraid of vintage or of pre-war because I didn't know anything. And I've spent 40 years learning about the golden era. And I think I have a pretty strong knowledge of the main sets and the regional sets and everything else. And going into an area where I know nothing at all, this was intimidating, but those guys have really helped demystify it a lot. And it's Orlando suggested this Hager's Comprehensive Guide to Rare Baseball Cards, and he showed some pages on it, and I picked this up off of eBay. And reading through this has really helped me learn a lot about the pre-war cards, and I really appreciate him showing that book because it does a good job. I like it because it's in year order, and that's part of what makes me confused about the pre-war cards. Is you've got all the letter designations, and I don't know what year different things are from, because it's not just like, well, this is the 1922 of the same set. There's 7, 8 sets in each year, maybe even more, and they got the W's and the E's and the T's. Yeah. So this book, having it in year order, has really helped me kind of understand a lot more about vintage than just seeing it all the tobaccos together and all the other ones together. So it's really helped me demystify things and feel comfortable starting to dabble in that area.
What's piquing your interest as far as sets or cards in the pre-war era?
The Hassan triple folders is my favorite.
Yeah.
And I've got 5 or 6 of those. The Cobb is the one with the Tigers manager that always was rooting. I can't think of his name right now. That he has the hit by pitch record.
Oh, is it Huggins? Is it Miller?
No,
Griffith.
Huey Jennings.
Huey Jennings. That's
Huey
it.
Jennings.
I couldn't think of his name, but that's the one. That's the one that's one of my dream cards. That was on my 10 I'll get someday list, hopefully. Even as a kid, that was the one that always would catch my eyes when I'd go buy cases. I'd stop anytime they had one of those cards because I just thought they were so beautiful with that center picture. And then when Upper Deck did the baseball assistance team set that kind of mimicked that, I got that as a kid and really liked looking through that set a lot. So I'd say that's probably the one that's my favorite.
It's a great set.
And it's nice because the stock on those, they're a little more well preserved than other ones. So I'm able to afford like stuff in a 5 or a 6 on that set where there's almost nothing in pre-war I can afford a 5 or a 6.
I own nothing in a 5 or a 6 in pre-war. Matter of fact, I'm leaning towards ungraded now because it's just the best way to go for my wallet. So
no,
there's a ton out there.
There's a big resurgence to ungraded. I mean, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago at the National, you'd see very little, and everything was really low grade. And now there's a good percentage of tables that are strictly raw cards now, and it's making a resurgence, which makes me happy, and maybe I'll be able to start buying more of those again because I really like holding the card, smelling the card. My favorite cards that are still from my childhood collection because I can just pull them out. And if people have watched my videos, sometimes I forgot a raw card, I'll just pull it right out of the case, which I love being able to do. It's something that I really miss with graded cards.
Yeah, my thought behind that is the hobby has gone full circle, and I still think grading has a huge place in the hobby. I just think for me and the way that I'm collecting right now, a lot of ungraded is the way I prefer. There's stuff that I would still consider grading. Unfortunately, my grader of choice was SGC, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. But so I'm kind of on hold with what I want to send in. I'll grade at some point in time. There's a bunch of cards that I want to get graded. It's just not a priority for me right now.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Sammy.
I'm making sure that people in the chat know where to can click, because it's not clickable in StreamYard, but it's clickable from their point of view.
It is. I can see it.
I see that Mike asked what took me down the road of O-Pee-Chees. Truthfully, it was the 71 backs. So that was the first O-Pee-Chee set I started working on. And then I started working on the 65 Hall of Fame set. And then I started working on the 77 O-Pee-Chee Hall of Fame set. But the reason was the 71 O-Pee-Chee backs. I just always loved those. And I happened to find someone on a message board that was working on a Hall of Fame set, and he was giving it up, and he had 5 or 6 really nice ones, and bundling them together, he gave me a pretty good price on them. And in it was the Gibson, the Yaz, my Banks, and then a couple more minor ones. But I had one before, and buying those 5 together then made me say, okay, I'm going to try to go for this. And I was making pretty good progress for the first 2 years, but then prices just started skyrocketing on them. And I wish that they were still back where they were 4 or 5 years ago. I'm one of the people that would welcome a huge correction. I'm not talking a small correction in the hobby, but heck, if everything went to half price of what they are today, I would be so happy, because I don't think the list of what I want is ever going to be smaller than the list of what I have. So being able to have my hobby dollar go farther would make me very happy. Once I have a card, I don't really ever look at the price. Once a year, I put it on the spreadsheet and update the insurance. I do have everything insured. I have some of the big ones in a safety deposit box. But if it wasn't for insurance, I probably would have no idea what my collection is worth, because that's the only once a year when the insurance premium comes up, I have to see what I need to raise the coverage to. Otherwise, I wouldn't look at it. And not looking for a full year, I'm always surprised. I mean, a couple of years ago, stuff went down, but usually it goes up. And some of the cards, doesn't seem rhyme or reason, but certain players get super hot. Like Jackie cards went crazy a number of years ago.
Yep.
And they're not even close to what they were. I remember at a national maybe 8 years ago, I got a 54 Robinson and an SGC 8 for $750, and now that card is something I could never afford. So it's, for those of us who have been at it a while, the prices now just seem really crazy.
Yeah, and so I was a spotty collector throughout my collecting years. So, but those who stayed steady with it, it almost must be obscene for you guys. Orlando's been at it the whole time. You've been at it since, like you said, 82. I can't even imagine when you're looking at cards now going, geez, I saw this thing in 89 or 90. I was taking a break. I wasn't collecting at that time, but you were. And you're probably seeing things at 20% of what they're going for now. It's insane.
Yeah, it's insane. And it's funny when people talk about overpaying for a card that they're looking for, and if it's one that's rare or hard to find and they're overpaying by 10%, I'm like, I have never regretted buying the card that I bought, even if I paid a little over what VCP was, or going way back what Beck and Monthly said, for a quality card, because over time it doesn't matter. If you're a collector that's going to hold hopefully till you pass away and give it to your heirs, it really doesn't matter if you overpaid. And the regrets are all the things I didn't buy. Like never, I passed on this over $50. What the hell was I thinking? And and I think about it wrong, because that money still went to my hobby. So there'd be something else I have that I wouldn't have. But I do have a lot of memories of passing on cards that are way out of the price range now that I lament not buying.
Even in the last 3 to 4 years, I look at cards I passed up 4 years ago and said, all right, they're getting nutty now, and I could have got it for this, and now it's this. And kind of what you were saying earlier, Brad, it kind of fits how you collect, Sammy. So you're much more precise in what you're adding to the collection. A lot of it's a lot more scarce. So if you're paying 10 or 15% over that, Like, it's never a bad thing. You always want to get the card for the best money you can, but at the end of the day, if it's 10 or 15 over, like your Orange Mathewson, like if that was 10 or 15 over, I'd be like, yeah, so what? So, I mean, at the end of the day, so what? If it was your Cracker Jack, so what? It's not going anywhere but up at that point, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's stuff that's easier to find, and then there's stuff that and Double D talks about it with his centering scale. I wish he'd publish it so I could see how his knowledge on it. But there's some cards, man, that are really, really tough to find with any decent centering. Like the 73 all-time home run leaders card, that #1 card.
Yeah.
I don't think one exists with back centering, and the front centering on that card's atrocious. I mean, it took me forever to find one with front centering I was happy with. And so when I did, I didn't care about paying a little bit over on it because I've been looking for 5 years for the right one. So
right, exactly.
You wanted to? I know you said you had some more cards to show, so let me put.
I do, yeah. So I'll start. So I'll go with one of them that I'm really proud of, and as a kid in Beckett, they had those pictures in the center of the Beckett Annual. I don't know how many people remember those, and they were the cards from Barry Halper's collection always. And every year they showed the 68 3D Clemente, which is way out of my price range. But there's another Hall of Famer in the set, so I picked up the 3D Tony Perez.
And that's a great card.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful image of him. I love this card, and this one is still expensive, but it's nowhere near what the Clemente is, and I was able to get a representative from a set that I've always kind of dreamed of, and still get a Hall of Famer from it. This is the blank back, and I actually prefer the blank back. I know that the ones that are printed with the I can't remember what they say, something scope or something on it, are rarer, but my understanding is the few packs that they made all had the blank backs in it, so I'd rather have one that was possibly out of a pack, probably not because there weren't a lot in packs, but possibly out of a pack than one that there's no way it's out of a pack, even though the one with the stamp on the back is a little bit rarer.
Right.
Just for record, I had to look up what the last sale was on the PSA 9. That card sold for just over close to $3,700.
Yeah, I didn't pay. I paid over $1,000 for it, but it was much less than $2,000 when I bought it. So
the last time this sold was March of this year, but a PSA 9 for just under $3,700. So
you're almost 3 to 1 on your money, Brad. Not that it matters.
Just makes my insurance more expensive every year.
right, exactly.
Look at it.
That's wild, man. Seeing a 3D card in general.
I know, and that's awesome. And I love that image of him. That's a great one.
Yeah, and I think back when I bought it, I think it was fairly reasonable because it was I think I paid $1,200 for it, and at the time I think Clemente was like $7,000, and I'm like, I'm still getting a Hall of Famer from a really tough set, and having one in my collection just every time I look at it, I just smile. As a kid, I never really even saw any of those cards except for pictures of them. So being able to actually have one from that set just means a lot to me.
Oh, that's cool as heck.
So probably the biggest bargain oddball card I have is this one. And there's only 23 graded Boudreaux, which is the most in the set, and the 55 Rodeo Meets is a tough set. And I was willing to pay up for it because I'm a Boudreaux guy. He was the Cub announcer when I was a kid. He went to U of I, where I went. The only Boudreaux I need of his mainstream cards is the 53 Bowman. I just haven't found the right one yet. And this was high on my list. And one of them, it was an auction from someone in Canada, and I bid way higher, but I ended up getting this card for $45. Nobody else really wanted it on eBay.
Man.
Yeah.
How long ago?
Maybe 3 years ago.
Really? I think he's correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know why no one was bidding on it against me, really. And I was willing to pay a lot more. I mean, my bid was a lot higher that I was willing to go, but it was crazy that nobody really saw this. I guess people weren't searching for it on eBay.
I think him and Slaughter are the only 2 Hall of Famers in that set, if I'm not mistaken.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's this one you don't really see that often. So
I never see that one. I see the Slaughter
because that was one of them I was searching for.
Yeah, that's a great card.
So every once in a while, you get a surprise the good way. I tend to remember the ones that are surprised the bad way, where I feel like I got bit up more than I wanted to, but that one was a surprise the good way. Um, so I
So
mentioned
the
that
total
I'm
of
working on the 65 O-Pee-Chee Hall of Fame. So this is what I have so far, and this one is just an impossible card to find a nice one of.
wow, Jesus.
And when I saw this 7, I was like, I have to have this card. This is one of them I've been looking for a number of years. This was bought maybe 2 years ago, so I paid up for this one. But um, you don't see these centered ever, and finding one with this centering was something that I was really really proud of.
That
And
color's
then
phenomenal.
this one is one of my I'm looking for a 65 tops that looks like this. I haven't found one yet, but when I saw this one, this was another one where I was just like, I can't get outbid on this one because I don't know when I'm ever gonna find one this nice. There's the Clemente O-Pee-Chee, and then I've got the Aaron and the Maze. Um, the Maze is off centered, but I don't care because the registration is beautiful on it, and then the Aaron presents pretty well. So.
I was
Um,
thinking the same thing, Mike. Don't let Theo see that. Back to the Clemente.
Yeah, I know Theo would drool over that card. Um, so something totally different. I'll show a hockey card. I know there's some people like the hockey cards, and
Makita.
this is a Stan Mikita, and this is a 1966 Topps Test U.S. set. Um, and I don't know how it's distributed. I haven't found how it's distributed, but it's pretty rare, and there's only 61 of the highest pop count of any of them in there. So when I saw this one come up, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Um, I'll show you this, but the back on this one is really cool too. I have no idea why I don't really talk grades too much, but I don't have any idea why this isn't a 7. If this was a 9, it wouldn't shock me. There's no chipping on the border. The gloss is unreal on it. So
He's a legend.
yeah, he is a legend, and as a Blackhawk fan, it's something
Yep.
special. Someone asked to see a back of the O-Pee-Chee, so it's kind of it's like it's a gray cardstock, and it's kind of got a more fluorescent blue color than the Topps has. So not as cool as the 71s, but still a pretty cool back.
Pretty epic.
And then let's see, 64 stand-up, something I'm working on. I've got a long way to go on that. So here's my stack, but I've got some of the biggies. So here's the Aaron and the Clemente. This was the first one I got, and it's from there's a collector friend I have that God, I bought lots of cards from him, and I actually met him on the SGC message boards back in the day when they had message boards. They weren't ever nearly as active as PSA, but I met him on the SGC message boards. And he's the type of collector who buys really nice stuff, but he holds them for a year or two, and then he gets tired of it and wants to go on to something else. So he's been a stream of good cards for me for years, because I'm willing to pay VCP on them if they're nice. I'm not going to mess around and try to save it. And for him to be able to sell someone else's collection and get kind of full VCP average isn't easy to do, especially on SGC cards. So I bought a lot from him. He's a big SGC fan, obviously, since I'm on the message board. And then my other big one is I have shown this on my channel. It's the Maze, and this one is from the Lionel Carter collection, which is something I love. I've got a few cards from his collection, and his cards, every one I've ever seen, whether it's mine or in a case or somewhere else, the color of his cards is just unbelievable. And if you can see these in person next to the other ones, it's like a whole another level of color. And his cards are known for that because he'd make binders with like the little photo quarters. I don't know if you've ever seen a video. There's a good video of him if you search it, of his collection when it was being sold. But he'd spend his weekends on the kitchen table putting the little 4 photo corners into these big books with big pieces of paper. They're maybe like this big. I mean, they were huge, and he'd had all of them in those books, and then he stored them in the basement with no windows. So
Wow.
even when he was looking at his cards, they never exposed to sunlight. And every card I've ever seen from his collection just has color that looks like it was printed yesterday. So
That'll kill color quick. Sunlight and light in general.
Yeah. Yeah, some of my kid cards that were on the dresser have faded a bit.
Right.
But definitely worth it.
Someone was asking if you had any 64 base O-Pee-Chee cards.
I
Steven's
don't
setting
have
up
any 64
65.
Peachy. I've got 70. I've got some 68s. I have one of the I have Bill Dickey from the first O-Pee-Chee set, the 38
30. That's a
O-Pee-Chee.
great
Yeah.
set. Those have just skyrocketed.
Yeah,
Are those the ones with the little mini players, like the diamond?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then one of my top 10 cards I'd love to get someday is the Feller from that set because that's his true rookie card. Oh, that's why I don't have any 64. Thank you, Steven, with a PH.
Oh, is that what, did he say that? Okay.
Yeah.
And take it from Steven. He knows.
Yeah, no,
Right. Right.
He lives there, so.
Yeah. See, my here's my a couple of Venezuelans because I know you love these. So here's the
Do.
Jenkins rookie.
Now, why is that not in a 7? What's going on here?
Well, it's a 6. It's a 6 if you double the
But
grade like you're
I
supposed
found
to.
one without any damage on the back, which to me is like a 10 in Venezuela.
No, I know.
So.
I'm just busting balls because you've been showing nothing but 7s and 8s. I'm like, where's
this one's gonna make people sick. A 66 Banks run. So it's all 3 of them. So
was that middle one an 8?
So the Venny is a 7.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
The Tops is an 8.
harder.
I don't really talk grades, but then the O-Pee-Chee is a 9. So Banks is my guy, so I try to get really high grade Banks stuff, but
sure.
All right, so I have to ask the question.
Yeah.
The Venezuelan in the 7, where the hell did you find that?
Right.
It was REA. Someone sold a Banks super collector, basically sold off his whole collection. And when I saw that Venny, he had all of the Vennies, all of the O-Pee-Chees. That's the only one I won because I was willing to. I just wasn't gonna let that one go because I just knew I'd never see that again ever. It might have been like 5 or 6 years ago I got that.
I'm not surprised that it came from an auction. I mean, I was kind of anticipating that being the case because it would either have to come from an auction or from like a personal collection. Because I mean,
yeah,
like that's something you don't see. I never see a high grade Venezuelan.
I never have in person. Even.
No.
So.
Yeah,
auctions are the only way, really.
Right.
It's graded correctly. I mean, it's sharp. I mean, I
crazy.
Very proud of this. I'm proud of all my cards. I'm excited for every card I have. Like the 82 Fisk O-Pee-Chee, I'm excited about. Every card I own, I'm excited about.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. But I have to harp on the fact that it is insanely difficult to get a Venezuelan card that has not have back damage or front damage or whatever the case may be because of the conditions. They didn't store those cards in the best way. I mean, they stored them in floorboards underneath.
Right.
And
no, I know.
Yeah.
Well, this one's gonna shock you then.
And that's a condition based. That's a condition sensitive set.
Yeah, this is the Venny, and look at that back.
I think that's the same grade as my regular Tops, and that's a high grade for me.
Have you been in Pat Quinn's ear? You know Pat Quinn, right?
I don't know Pat Quinn. No.
He's an Illinois guy. And he was one of the first guys to venture over to Venezuela for sports cards. And so wouldn't surprise me that some of those cards that you have might have been from his ventures.
Could be, yeah. And then here's my 68 Venny.
To me, that's a high grade Venny. 4.5 is a high number for a Venny.
Yeah, and again, the back has no damage on it. So getting all 3 of those was I'm really proud of. I'm proud of everything, but some of the things that are really hard to find like that. I get goosebumps when I look at them. Still do. I got goosebumps right now.
That's awesome.
Man, that's insane.
Let's
see some transagram 10s.
I don't have any transagrams, so
we're gonna change that.
I can't show you those, but I've got all the Wilson Franks except for Williams.
Oh, show the Wilson Franks.
Here's
Yeah.
Here's the those are his
5.
Hall of Famers. I'm sorry, just the Hall of Famers. Here's the Campy. This is one of my favorite cards in my collection. This is
It's,
what
I mean,
started me on the Wilson Franks. I think this is just one of the most beautiful cards ever made.
it's either that one. I'd say the Campy the Campy from that set. I'd say also the Stahlmeyer. One of those two are like they're up there, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's the Feller.
Beautiful.
And this one was from the Lionel Carter collection. You can see what I'm talking about with the color. I mean, you don't see color like this on a Wilson Franks card. I mean, ever.
No, especially on the and the registration is just spot on the bottom there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You have the tag?
I don't have the TED. And I wish I had bought the TED a long time ago because it just keeps every month it just goes up another $1,000. You know,
kicking ass, showing some banger cards, man. Taking names with these cards. Yeah, that's the card. I know Mookie and I have been talking. He's the one. That's the one he's looking for.
Yeah,
I got this one at the National this year, actually.
Where'd you get it from? Which dealer?
I know what I bought with it.
Was it one of the one of the guys like Stan or Ash or
no? But it's a bigger dealer.
Levy, like from 707 Sports Cards.
No, it wasn't Levy.
Or Levi. I don't know if it's Levi or Levy.
I can't remember where it'll come to me, but it won't come to me in the next.
I'm gonna keep
10 minutes.
listing dealers because I have I have like an internal Rolodex here.
Yeah.
Payne.
There's the Shane East.
That's like a Tim Payne card, kind of. To me, it is.
Could be a Tim Payne card. Could also be.
It wasn't Tim. No, I bought a lot from Tim, but didn't buy that.
That's one of my favorites. The one where Slaughter looks like he's actually hitting the package.
Yeah, I like it too. Yeah.
Tony Monster cards.
No, I bought one. I bought a 41 play ball from him.
JD, was it JD Heckathorn?
No, it was not.
Damn, we're gonna get there.
If you say it, I'll know it. But I'd have to look at the national dealer.
Howard
list.
Passer.
No, it wasn't Howard. I didn't buy anything from Howard this national. I bought from him before. But the stuff he had, I was interested in. It was I just couldn't get to the prices that he was at. So. But I've made deals with him before, so
yeah, I bought 2 off of
James or George. That's what Rick is saying. One of the other misfits.
James or George.
So here's I only have 3 red hearts, but I'm really proud of all 3 of them. And this one, condition wise, I think is the best card in my entire collection.
Jesus,
wow!
You're
gonna make me fall off my chair, man.
That's crazy.
When I saw the blue background on this card, I just like, oh my god, it just. I know Mickey's got the blue background too, but just the color on this card, I was just like, oh my god, I've never seen a card this nice. So, and then this one was from Ash, so I can tell you where I got this one. And actually, I got this one. I didn't go to Strongsville, but Greg showed Ash's table ahead of the show, and this card was on it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to get this card. So I emailed Ash, he emailed me back, and we made a deal. So I don't think it actually hit Strongsville because I think he took the picture the day before. So so even though I wasn't at the show, I was able to buy one of the highest cards on my list at Strongsville. And
that's cool.
So
mine's a 1, like by the way.
But I don't care what holder it is. I mean, this one was just bought last year, and who gives a shit that the holder's ancient.
Right,
the card is beautiful. So
dude, that's insane. That's insane. I'm gonna keep saying that, by the way. So
let's see. Here's another card. I'll go back to newer that I'm proud of. This is another Burger King, and it's the first card of Jenkins on the Rangers, and it's a totally different picture than the '78 set. And this one is really, really tough. I am Orlando. It'll be the first time I go to Strongsville. I've got my hotel. Hopefully I land a job by then so I can bring decent money. But if not, I probably will sell some unopened stuff I have that I'm not attached to. Like I've got a couple. I've got a 79, 80, and 81 vending box, and I got a 77 claw sticker box. So I love them, but if I don't have a job, I'll sell those so I can bring some money to Strongsville. So,
how you getting there? Are you flying or are you driving, Brad?
I think I'm going to drive.
Yeah, yeah. We'll talk afterwards, or we'll talk
later
as time.
I'm taking my brother. He's turning 50, So his
Okay.
50th birthday present is us going there, and I'm gonna give him a little bit of money to spend. He's a huge collector. He is working on a super high grade 67 top set, but all raw. The only graded cards are ones I've given him, and now when I give it to him, I just break it out and give it to him raw. He has the
Those
only
high
graded cards he has
numbers,
are ones I've bought him for Christmas and birthday because I don't have the patience to find him in raw. But he's never gone to graded cards, even though his collection's really high grade. So
those high numbers are going to be a pain in the ass.
yeah, he's down to, I think, I'd have to look at his list, but I think he's down to like 45 cards. But
Yeah.
every one of them, like anytime you see him in an auction, it's the 45 cards nobody can find nice. I mean, they're all
Right.
condition sensitive or high number. He's pretty actually, a lot of them are the series before the high number, but they're the hard ones that he needs.
Isn't Brooks Robinson a high number in that set? I think
It
Brooks.
is. It is a
Yeah.
it is a high number in that set. Yeah. He doesn't have the Brooks yet. That's one of the ones he needs. He hasn't been able to pay the money he needs to get one. The only place he's seen nice Brooks is Greg Morris Raw, and you know what those go for. I mean, they're
Right.
crazy.
Right.
And I'm like, just buy an 8 and break it out. And for some reason he won't buy a graded card. So
He'll get along with a lot of people in this community then.
yeah, so he's probably going to Strongsville with me. So I think we're gonna drive, and then he'll have a lot of fun meeting everybody. So
Yeah, it's gonna even be bigger this year, Sammy.
Yeah.
Are we doing another live cardboard and cold ones from the lobby?
Yeah, I anticipate doing another one. We'll
That
figure
one went over very well, I must say. I think it got
Yeah.
quite a few views.
I mean, I'll be arriving Thursday night, so we'll see how I feel. I might be a zombie after 7 hours. But we have a few minutes left, Brad, if you wanted to show a few more cards.
yeah, I can. Let's see what I have over here. I'll show a couple more of the 65 O-Pee-Chees. Let's see.
remember the video that he did on the Hires root beer. I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't show any of those since I've shown those on my channel. Most of the stuff I've got here I haven't shown. So here's the Frank from the 65
Beautiful.
O-Pee-Chee.
Absolutely beautiful.
Here's my K-line.
incredible.
You know,
Crazy.
I play along every week on the Showcase Showdown, and I did 65, and I was like, I thought I had that card because it's so confusing remembering which ones I have in Tops and which ones I have in O-Pee-Chee. So I didn't do as well as I thought, but if I could have counted the O-Pee-Chees, I think I would have beat them if I could have done the combined set. So
Well, that's even a bigger feat in my mind. You should be able to combine them if you wanted to.
and there's the McCovey. So
I don't know if you saw the last episode, Tom, Chris's buddy. I think they
I
did
did,
64
All
tops,
eights.
and every card
All
was an
eights,
8.
Yeah, beautiful
Eight.
set that he had. Here's a couple of the Milton Bradleys.
Beautiful.
And they've got the brighter yellow back, is how you tell them. I'm never gonna buy the Ryan Milton Bradley. In fact, it's so funny. Every national I say I'm gonna buy a Nolan Ryan rookie, and every national I decide to buy something else instead that I want more. I'm only 2 cards away from the 68 Hall of Fame run. One of them is the Ryan rookie, and the other one is the leader that's number 2. So when I get those 2, I'll have the whole run. But I think 6 or 7 nationals in a row, I'm like, I'm going to buy the Ryan rookie, and then I see something else, and I'm just like, oh, Ryan's got to wait. So I don't have a Nolan Ryan rookie yet, even though it's a really big card from the 60s, probably the biggest card from the 60s, but I just haven't decided to buy that over something else I'm finding at the show. So
now, do you buy like Pete Rose in anticipation that he's going to get to the Hall, or?
I as a kid, actually, he was my favorite. I've got everything but the rookie and the 71 in nice shape. But I kind of turned off of Pete Rose, not for the gambling, but for the I don't really want to talk bad things about people, but there's some stories about other things he was doing that really turned me off as a fan of his. And so I've kind of stopped collecting him, but he was a poster on my wall. I had the Sports Illustrated poster. Read his first 2 biographies, and the first one's really special because my mom gave it to me for Christmas just from her, and she wrote like an inscription. My mom passed away, so it's really special to have that book. And it was a huge part of my childhood, but I just got really disappointed with that other stuff that was going on, and I don't know, just really discolored me to him. So
Sure, makes sense.
All right, man. Well, listen, we're hitting that plateau. So I shared your channel, but if you wanted to mention a little bit more about how people can find you, I'll share the link one more time.
yeah, I'm Brad at Brad's Vintage Collection. I'm not on Instagram or X or anything, so that's pretty much where you can find me. Most of what I showed today I haven't shown on my channel yet. I started my channel after the National, so I'm very new. I'm working on a series now that is my 5 favorite Hall of Fame cards from each year from the 60s based on looks, trying to show some cards that aren't just always Aaron Mays or Musial and stuff. And so I'm on 19. I've done 60, 61, and 62. I've got 63 picked out. I just have to find the time to film it this week. So I'm working on that. When I have opinions on the hobby, I've got a series where I do 4 opinions in 5 minutes and just kind of give my take on things. There hasn't been a lot of stuff I've had opinions on lately that's been going on. But when I get to 4, I make those videos. And then I do showcases sometimes of years. I've done my 56 set Hall of Fame run that I've got all of them, my 55 Bowman Hall of Fame run that I've got all of them, and then I spotlighted the 58 higher set, which I have the whole set, and I'm really proud to have the book. So if you check out that one, I doubt you've seen the book before, and it's kind of cool to have that as well. So I'll keep posting videos of cards, and I really appreciate you having me on. This is the second live stream I've done. And so I wanted to pull out some things that I haven't shown yet. It's because I really appreciate the invite being so new. So thank you, Jason and Sammy, for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, my friend. More to come. More collaborations to come. Once your phone number's out there, it goes through the community, and people all start calling. Hey, you want to jump on? It's gonna happen.
Well, now that I have your numbers, I'll be texting with you. So
perfect.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Brad, for joining. You have the link right there in the video and also in the chat. So definitely subscribe to Brad's channel if you want to definitely see more of his collection. And we'll be back soon, probably, next week. So have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.